to let you know, Dave Caldwell, that these allegations are not going to go away. This is just the beginning. So I think you need to come out and do an interview. I mean, any other time we can't get you off IFL, Behind the Gloves, Seconds Out, Boxing Social, Fight Hype. We can't get you off YouTube. So you need to come out and answer these allegations. You're more than welcome to come on Porky's Corner. You can do it by Zoom. You don't have to do it in your gym. You can do it by Zoom. And I'll ask you these questions from these lads. Alright? And then once you've answered them, then I'm going to play a card that I've got up my sleeve and put this to bed. Alright? So come out, wherever you are. Hello, all you hardcore boxing fans out there. How are you doing? It's Russ here from Porky's Corner. I'm going to put this on YouTube and not the members area. We need to get a few YouTube videos out. Today I'm joined by my good friend John from down in London. He's been a regular now for 18 months to a year. How are you doing, John? All right?
Very well, sir. Very well, very well. Yourself?
I'm not so good. I've got this on now, haven't I? It's a vacuum.
Wow.
Draws infection out and it sucks the vacuum out to heal the wound. And then every time it sucks, it buzzes me on here. So, bionic man, aren't I?
Wow.
Yeah.
So, what recovery process is key?
Yeah. I think this is going to be on 3 to 6 weeks. And then I've got a CT scan before Christmas. Hopefully, I don't have to go back under knife. And then they can put me straight in for my hernia operation at New Year. Then it's just a case of remote control. I've got to go at Claremont, and then the loosen the gastric banks. I'm below my target weight now. In fact, the got me on these drinks to try and put a bit of weight on. So
a protein shake.
Yeah. They sent me some a prescription of protein stuff. So just got to. I take that now. Not the diet way, the normal stuff kind of thing. And plus, Max give me some. So just trying to get a stone on. So
yeah. Now, was this done in Turkey or?
Yeah. The ulcer or abscess, whatever you want to call it, it burst in Turkey. Yeah. So they had to put me straight in for op.
Wow.
In Turkey, yeah. So
that must have been painful.
Oh yeah, just a bit. But I didn't have a good month.
God.
But Joe had jawbone work on my jawbone all the way around and sinus lift for my mouth because I've got another operation on my teeth to come in April. But
God, next year.
Yeah, I've got to go back again. So I've been in wars, haven't I? But you know what? It's character building, isn't it? And there's
it is.
There's people worse off than me.
Absolutely.
You know what I mean?
Yeah. I'm a firm believer in health is wealth.
Oh yeah, Robin Reed always says that to me. And
man, so important. We take so many things for granted. Just even waking up every day is a success. It's a gift. It's actually a gift. It's a present. We take things for granted way too much. Going to the gym, just going out down the road, we take things for granted. And when you go through certain things, it just puts everything into line. You know, it just puts everything to perspective.
Yeah, it does, yeah. But I'm happy-go-lucky, and I look at it like when I was in hospital, there were some other people who were a lot worse off than me. And I've got mates who lost legs in bike crashes and had brain hemorrhages and stuff. So this is no, is it?
Jesus.
Lady
yeah, true.
Screaming at people.
Now, sure, when you look at it like that, you definitely makes you feel a lot better because, you got some people that's it, not coming out of hospital. So, at least you know you're going to have your freedom soon. Once you get better, you're good to go.
Yeah. Okie dokie. I want to ask you, John, what you thought about Anthony Joshua, Alexander Usyk, now that you've had time to digest it. What did you think, John?
Good fight. Usyk was more or less predictable. All what he did, I wasn't surprised. Quick feet, moves well, angles, feint, nothing different. And he boxed well. He boxed well. Took Joshua to school. He's just a textbook. Usyk is just, is a good template for any up-and-coming boxer coming up. Just the way he moves, the way he reads the fight, second to none. Joshua, not surprised. You can't fight someone like Usyk in gear one. The reason why I've always gone on about Fury being a complete fighter is the last fight he had with Wilder. First round, Wilder came with something different. You could see in Fury's eyes that he was thinking, okay, you know what, this is a bit different. Second round, he started to adjust. That's the difference between great fighters and a good fighter. A great fighter will always be able to adjust, adapt. A good fighter just keeps the same all throughout. And that was the difference between Joshua and Usyk. Joshua couldn't adapt. He couldn't read the fight.
You think Usyk's a multi-talented fighter?
Usyk takes the fight game very serious. That's the other difference between Joshua and Usyk. Joshua takes fighting game very serious. He does. The problem is 80%. It's just distraction. Yeah. You got all the lads around him. He's setting up a management team. Great on him. I admire him for doing it. I just think that might be slightly premature. At this stage, you got to decide, what do you want to do? Do I want to fight? Do I want to leave a legacy? Or do I just want to be a fighter that people will laugh at? So that's what Joshua needs to decide. I do believe, and I've been watching your past podcast with people talking about Joshua. I do believe Joshua could beat Usyk. 100% believe he could beat him in a rematch. Anything is possible, but it needs to start from up here. What do you really want? What does Joshua really want? Because if you really want this fight, it can happen. If you really want to beat this guy, it can happen. But the mindset has to change. You got to take all those little leeches, all those people around it, get rid of them. 6 months, 5 months, locked away. No social media. Just speak to your mom or your daughter. That's it. No friends. Just locked away, completely outside your comfort zone. You see a different fighter. He needs to learn, work on his movement. Joshua always have trouble with fighters with quick feet, quick hands, and movement. The only person that could beat Usyk is himself. You got to mirror what Usyk does. Usyk moves, angles, feints. Joshua just needs to do the same thing. Only difference is Joshua just needs to try and bully him. Again, when you look at Dillian Whyte, you look at Fury, you look at Chisora, they want to bully you. Their intention is to bully you. Their intention is to use their size. Their intention is to break your heart. They will rough you up. Joshua hasn't got that. Sorry, Joshua has got that, but he's not using it. A smaller guy can't bully you. It makes no sense.
How come Joshua couldn't bully Usyk?
It's because I just think he was surprised. You could see it. You could, say the eyes is the soul to the window, or the soul is the eyes. You could just see that Joshua didn't have a plan B. He wasn't fighting for. He was fighting for survival, but not fighting for survival. There's one reason why I always like Dillian Whyte. Dillian Whyte, you could see he's fighting for something. He will stick his elbow in your throat. He will do whatever he needs to do. You can see it with Fury as well. They want to bully you. Their intention is to bully you. And how could a bigger guy get manhandled by Usyk? And that's why I was a bit surprised. I wasn't surprised, but I just think Joshua is a nice guy. And I think that niceness, transparent too much, comes in the ring, comes comes when he fights. He's too much of a nice guy.
Yeah.
You know, you look at all those other fighters, they're like killers. Mike Tyson, they just want to destroy you. I don't get that with Joshua. When he first started, well, before he's lost, he had a reputation. People knew he had power, but then after the Ruiz fight, he got exposed. You know, if you got quick feet, quick hands, he's going to have problems, and angles and feints, he's going to have problems, and everyone knows that. And that's what Usyk was so confident about the fight. He knew if he could stand in the middle of the ring, movement, angles, feint, he's going to get him, because Joshua is stationary. He doesn't move a lot. If you stand in front of Joshua, he will take you out. It's that simple. He will knock you out. If you're stationary, he will knock you out. But unfortunately, when you get fighters like Usyk that's constantly moving, you can only hit what you can see.
You think?
But I do believe he could. I do believe he could win the rematch.
Do you
But
think?
it all boils down to.
Do you think, John, that Joshua might have too many people in his ear at the moment?
Absolutely. That's what I said to you. Joshua could win the fight, but 80% of what's going on in his head is just distraction. Yeah. Joshua is a lovely guy. He's a nice guy. If you need help, the guy will help you. He's a genuine person. But the problem is, when you have so much people around you, you've got a lot of friends around you that are looking up to you and, you know, looking for favors. Now, if you say to them, I set up a management, you could work in marketing, you could work in advertising, you give them a job. That's good. But the only problem is, mind-wise, you're running a business. And I know boxing is a sport business. I understand that. But he's made enough money now that he needs to decide, is it my legacy? Is it a legacy that's important, or money? Both of money is obviously important, but he doesn't need that money now. So he just needs to cut out distraction, get away from Sheffield, where all the lads will come in playing their music outside and thing. Just lock himself away. Just train, sleep, eat, watch fights. Yeah. Just do that. Train, sleep. Look, he'll be a complete different fighter. And I know that Joshua has been watching some of our podcasts, because I've always said he needs to get out of comfort zone. And any fighters out there, get out of your comfort zone. You never grow in your comfort zone. Outside your comfort zone, that's when growth starts. That's if you want to be a great fighter.
Yeah. Do you think that Joshua's gone backwards since he fought Ruiz the first time, or do you think he's gone forwards?
I think stationary. He's just been the same. He hasn't, you know, and I keep saying it, when you watch Fury, every fight, it's almost like he sits down, and this is again a sign of a great fighter, sits down, reflects on everything. I could have done that better. What could I do better in next fight? And next fight, he brings something different to the table. You know, whether he's going to be using triple jabs, double jabs. I don't see that with Joshua. I think Joshua just expects every fight to be the same. The only thing that was different is he lost a bit of weight. But, you know, if every fight you see something different, either maybe you see him manhandling the fighters, bullying the fighters, that's something different. That's something you're adding to your armor. If you get what I'm saying, that's what you're adding. But if you're not doing anything, if you're not adding anything, and it just makes it difficult. It makes it very difficult when you fight someone that moves around a lot. And everyone knows that now, that if you move around, quick hands, angles, he's going to have problems. He's going to have problems because Joshua is not fast, but he's powerful. And I said it in the last fight, you know, a style makes fights. A fighter like Usyk, the only way to slow him down is go to his body. And that same method applies to Fury. Go to the body.
Yeah, you
go to the body, because I would slow him down. And then later on, latter part of the rounds, then he's going to start, because obviously he's not going to like getting hit to the body. He's going to start dropping his hands, and then the face is there to be taken. But it makes me wonder what he does in training. And I know he's amazing, looks great in training, but my thing is just not adapting to, not having that mind, that skills to be able to adapt and adjust. And I think that's what messed them up in that fight.
Do you feel that he wins the rematch, John?
He wins the rematch, and honestly speaking, he wins the rematch if he does what I tell him to, what I just said that he needs to do. Cut all these people out. Might not be permanent, cut them out 6 months away. Just you in the mountain somewhere, in the hill somewhere, just somewhere very, very uncomfortable. You're gonna fucking hate. Say again?
You're a Joshua fan, yeah?
Yeah, I like Joshua. I like Joshua. Yeah.
Yeah, I thought.
I'm a Joshua fan. Now, and that's why I believe, I believe he could win the fight, but everything starts up here. Everything starts up there because, look, perfect example. You look at Usyk. I think it was 9 months he was away from his family. Everyone saw it in his eyes that he came to get something. I know you saw that in him. He came to get something. When you just looked in his eyes, it looked like he was possessed. That's what Joshua needs to do.
Yeah.
If he could work on those things, there's a strong chance.
Yeah.
There's a strong chance. Punches and bunches. We need to see more.
Yeah. Do you think that Joshua gets rid of McCracken?
I think he should. But let me tell you something. Joshua's a nice guy. He's a loyal guy. I don't think he's going to do it, but I think he should. You know, in life, you got to take calculated risks. All right, it might go to someone else. It might not work. But at least you tried. The last thing you want is 20, 30 years' time, the back of your mind thinking to yourself, you know what? I had that chance. Maybe I could have done that. That eats you away. I don't think he will get away from. I don't think he will. He's too much of a loyal guy. That's what I mean about he's a nice guy. If Joshua decides, you know what, I'm going to cut everybody off today, you see a massive difference. Yeah. Because you got to remember, everything is energy. Yeah. When you're consuming a lot of business energy, a lot of social energy, helping this one, helping that one, it takes a big part of you away.
Yeah.
Can you imagine if he gets rid of all that distraction? All those people hangers on, all those mates, all those lads, and just goes somewhere and just keeps himself locked away, and he just looks like a complete madman, and he's just been working tirelessly, just working, putting everything into his craft. He'll be a complete different fighter. Look, he might not be Usyk, but everyone will be like, wow, there's something here.
Do you think that it's possible for Joshua to change his style from the pretty basic style that he's had years into being this slick boxer? Do you think he can adapt?
He can, but again, he's gonna have to lose a bit of muscle. Look, muscles don't win fight, and we all know as lads part around, you're gonna need that oxygen. He needs to be doing triple of what he's doing now. The jab, he needs to be doing double jabs, triple jabs. He needs to be doing that.
Yeah.
Basically, he needs to increase his output. Yes, he can. Maybe if he has a warm-up fight before Usyk and he uses that as a practice, that might help. But he might be a fast learner. But to just start, it would take a bit to be able to adapt a new style. I don't see enough feints. I don't see enough head movement. I don't see enough triple jabs, double jabs. I don't see enough traps. Because as a good fighter, you got to set traps. And that's one thing Fury's good at. Fury's very tricky.
Fury's got more to his game, hasn't he?
Yeah, Fury's mastered. He's mastered his game. I don't. He's mastered his game. His movement is just something else. It's just his boxing IQ is something else. He's a complete fighter. But Usyk, I will say is a complete fighter as well. I need to see more. I saw him cruiserweight and smashed up. He done really well. But Usyk again, box, jab, move, feint, just good IQ, reads the fight very well, reads the body language very well, you know. And another one that's more or less a complete fighter. And you're always going to have problems with those kind of guys.
What would you say, if Usyk beats Joshua in the rematch, where does that leave Anthony Joshua and his guy behind him, Eddie Hills? Where does it leave them?
The problem here is not a problem. Joshua's box office. You could hate him as much as you want. He's box office. And that's the difference. It makes people money.
Yeah.
When Joshua's fighting, everybody eats.
Yeah.
Look, you got family to feed, I got family to feed. Everybody eats when Joshua's fighting. So he will always sell out stadiums.
Yeah. Do you feel that Joshua will always be accused of not having a signature win on his record if Usyk beats him? Because he hasn't really got a signature win, has he?
No, he hasn't. And that's the reason why I said earlier, he would need to decide. No one could do that for him, to sit down and say to himself, what do I want? What do I really want? Legacy? If it's legacy, I need to pack and just leave. Just my bags, train up, and just fuck off somewhere. Excuse my language. For about 6 months. But if it's, oh yeah, I could do it here, I could do it here in comfort zone, go the lads round, it's not going to happen. And that's going to affect his legacy. I mean, look at David Haye. Bellew just destroyed him. Just destroyed his legacy. Those last 2 fights just finished David Haye. Because I used to really rate him. But going back to Joshua, yeah, he's going to need to pull his hand out of his pocket and, you know, decide what he really wants. But everything is in his mind. If he's 100% and his mind's 100% focused, anything is possible. But if you've got so much distraction around you, this business deal, that business fee, I'm not saying, I know that comes with the package of boxing, but if you've got all that stuff around you, it's gonna wear you out. It's gonna take a lot because you're constantly thinking and burning your energy. And we all know energy, just mental energy also has effect on physical energy. And all these little things, people might think, oh, they're nothing, but they are big things. And just in our normal life, we will experience it, and we know how heavy that could be.
Okay then.
So,
I'm going to ask you a few questions, and we'll draw Joshua thing to a close. But I'll ask you a few questions. Just give me a straight answer. Does Joshua beat Usyk in rematch? Yes or no?
Yes.
Right. Does Joshua keep the same training team that he's got for the Usyk rematch, which is Robert McCracken, Joby Clayton, Angel Hernandez, or does he just go with one of them?
I think it goes with one of them.
Who do you think that'll be, Angel Hernandez?
No, Rob.
Rob McCracken, yeah.
Rob, yeah.
Okay. We'll move on to the Fury Wilder on now. What did you think to that? It was a pretty stop-start for months leading up to it, but once it happened, it was one of the classics, wasn't it?
Absolutely great fight.
Fury did really well, didn't he?
Yeah, no, Wilder did well as well. Well, look, this is what I'm talking about. You're talking about warriors there. There's some people that they're just a warrior. Look, no matter what anyone say about Wilder, he's a complete warrior. And he put everything on the line. That's what we're talking about. He put everything on the line. But Fury, just a complete fighter. Just a complete fighter. His boxing IQ is something else. It's something else. Again, young fighters out there.
Performance. What did you think to it?
I thought The second one was better.
I think he looked a
second
bit
fight was
unfit and a bit overweight in the third one.
A little bit, yeah. Yeah, he was
Or
getting
do
hit.
you-
He was getting caught quite a
Yeah,
bit.
or do you think that he was just getting caught a little bit too much, and maybe he might have reached the top of the mountain and he might just be slightly coming down, but only so slowly? Do you think he just might be not
Yeah,
on
that
his
could happen.
feet?
Now,
Might-
that tends to happen to a lot of guys that move around a lot, that move a lot. Eventually, they start to slow, and that's when they start getting caught.
Happened to Roy Jones, didn't it?
That happened to Roy Jones. Happened to Sugar Ray Leonard. Exactly. All those fighters that move a lot, that's what tends to happen.
Ali adopted his style though, didn't he, when he came back in the 70s?
Yeah.
What he won in the 60s, he totally changed his style. He kept saying, I'm gonna dance, but he didn't, did he?
Yeah, but the leg was gone by then.
Yeah. Do you think that time out, what Ali had in the late 60s, did his legs? And do you think this the near 2-year layoff Fury's had, and he's had a few layoffs, Fury, do you think his legs might not be like they were? I'm not saying he's lost it altogether, but he just didn't seem to have that zip in his legs, did he?
No, I didn't. Yeah, I noticed that. But look, we're all human. Wear and tear. How old is he now?
34 next, isn't he? His next birthday.
Yeah. Someone like him, I don't think there's any fight for him. I think him and Usyk is an interesting fight. Dylan Wyatt, I'm not sure if that fight will ever happen. But I think those are the two fights left, and I think he should call it a day.
Right. Does Fury beat Joshua if they have a fight?
Yes, light work for Fury.
I think that. Do you think that Joshua's team will be willing to compromise on the percentage? Because if he's no belts, how can he demand 50% against Fury? So do you think that they might have to take the short end of the stick?
I think they do it because it's the fight that the public want to see. It's the fight that everyone wants to see. But we all know the outcome. Yeah. And that's Fury.
Do you think that Dylan White beats Joshua if he loses against Usyk and Dylan and Joshua fight? Do you think Dylan's a favourite in that fight?
Yeah, I think Dylan is another fighter that's learned a lot as he's had so many fights. He's adjusted and adapted and just keeps learning. I think Dylan would beat Joshua this time. I think Dylan takes fighters to places they don't like to go, and he tries to drown them there. That's Dylan White. He will manhandle and rough you up. He would do everything to distract you from your game plan. I think, answering your question, I think, Dylan would he would do it. All
right. Derek Chisora against Joshua. How would you see that fight going, John?
I think interesting fight because Derek did better than Joshua against Usyk. Again, you can see it. Derek was just going for the body.
You think Joshua were caught in two minds what to do, trying to be a slickster and trying to be, that guy that we used to go out and hunt them in his early.
I just think there was no solid game plan. There was no solid game plan, and there was no plan B, and there was no plan C or plan D. This guy moves. He's got quick feet, quick hands, and you're trying to box him.
Yeah.
He punches and bunches as well. So he's not just throwing one jab and then he's throwing punches and he throws that punch and he's looking for traps. So he's a very crafty fighter. Mm-hmm. You either overwhelm him or you attack the body, and that's what Derek Chisora tries to do. Just try to overwhelm him. Don't give him space to think, because when you give him space to think, that's when the problem starts. He's already 2 steps ahead. And Joshua gives him too much space, and then he was constantly moving from Derek Chisora. Because he knows that Derek wants to overwhelm him, and then his thoughts process is not going to be as quick.
Maybe. I think Derek's finished myself personally. I don't think he beats Joshua. I think he's just hanging around for crumbs in big fights, but I don't think he should be getting big fights. He's got 11 losses. He's never been by European level, has he really? And he hasn't won European for a long time. I just think he's probably on his way out now and just trying to pick up pension money. That's my opinion. People might disagree with me.
So what about if he beats Patrick Pat? Is it,
Parker.
Next? Parker, sorry. Yeah.
I don't think he beats Parker. He didn't beat him first time. I don't know where they get it from that he beat him. Every time Derek Chisora has a loss, he's always been robbed. All we hear about is robberies, or his arms were too long, or I didn't have a good camp. Look, if you get beat, you get beat. But for me, Derek Chisora is a shot fighter, and he shouldn't be commanding headline shows at the moment. There's a lot of fighters that've got a lot less losses than him that are more deserving of a chance.
No, yeah, I know what you mean, but Derek has got a very solid 5 rounds in him.
Maybe it's a 12-round fight, isn't it? It's like saying that
I know.
Certain teams are good at football for the first 25 minutes, but it's a 90-minute game, isn't it?
Yeah. I don't think. I still think it would give. It would give Joshua a good fight, though.
People keep saying to me, John, that Derek Chisora were winning fight against Dylan White till he got knocked out. Jermaine Taylor were winning it against Carl Frost till he got knocked out. But it's a 36-minute fight, in a 20-minute fight, 36 minutes. You know, when Man United beat teams 4-2, people don't talk about, but they had them on rack when they were 2-0 up in first half, but United came back with 4 in the second half. They don't talk about the first 2 goals. You talk about the winner of the fight. Never mind all that. Coulda, woulda, shoulda. I just think Derek Chisora's shot. I don't think he beats Parker, but who wants to see that anyway? Who'd want to watch them two go at it again? I wouldn't.
Not sure.
I wouldn't want to watch that again. No, it's not for me, that. But looking at the heavyweight division at the moment, we've spoke about Joshua, we spoke about Fury. Fury's head and shoulders above the rest. We all agree on that, don't we? He's the daddy, the Gypsy King, right? Second, I'm going to put Wilder. Because for his performance against Fury, and he's been in with Ortiz twice, that Joshua and Dylan White have been nowhere near. They don't even mention Ortiz's name. Joshua's not been in with Fury or Wilder or Ortiz. They've been carefully selected opponents, and I think what's happened is it all came home to roost against Ruiz, and then he's been gun shy since. And then Usyk, who's a far superior technical boxer, far superior. And I think after Usyk beats him in rematch, Eddie Hearn and his dad buzzing Bazza, and they'll be walking around with a begging bowl saying they'll take 40% to fight Fury. I really, really do believe that, honestly, because they won't have anything to bring to the table with no belts. And there's going to be some big changes in Team Joshua because he's up against it. If he loses next time out, Joshua's technically an also-ran man, isn't he?
Yeah. They mentioned when the rematches.
Eddie Hearn keeps saying March, doesn't he? But I think they'll drag it on for as long as they can, John, myself. I think they'll drag it on, but I'd look at April, May, but I don't think it'll be March. No, I don't think it'll be March, not at all. But why would
Has he got a trainer yet?
Hey?
Has he got a trainer yet?
No, he hasn't. He's going around all these other gyms and that. And I personally think doing that is quite insulting to McCracken. Because McCracken stood up for him when he got done for beating people up and selling drugs, didn't he? He went to court for him. So I think it's a little bit disrespectful to Robert McCracken what Joshua's done. He's already brought 2 people on board, and now he's going to speak to other trainers. I mean, who's behind all this? Is his head that confused that he's out of touch with reality? You win with your trainer, you lose with your trainer, you knuckle down. Never mind saying on IFL, yeah, I just do what I'm told. I'm given orders and I go out and do them. Is that passing the buck? The book stops with a fighter, in my opinion. He's told what to do in there. He's got to adapt to some situations in there. And he couldn't do it. He went out of his depth because he's being protected. How many southpaws has he beat? Charlie Martin. He was shocking. Usyk were no Charlie Martin. I warned everybody, this kid's a real deal. 400 fights amateur. He won top accolades as an amateur. You know, he was standing Vladimir Klitschko before the David A. Klitschko fight. He was standing Vladimir on his head in Vladimir's gym in Austria, standing him on his head, beating him up. That was before he turned pro. So the kid can obviously fight Usyk. He's the real deal. Everybody knew it. Joshua's team knew it because they didn't want to fight him, did they? They dragged it out and dragged it out. They even paid a bit of step aside. They dragged it out until they couldn't drag it out no more. He had to fight him. So, and who's to say he's even going to fight him in April? They might go a different route yet, let me tell you. They might go a totally different route. Plenty time for the minds to set in. Never mind all that. We've just been beat, but we're back on it Monday. We're going touring gyms. We are back on the grind. We're grinding. Well, let me tell you this. Do you think Usyk can't grind? And they keep going on about all these styles. Joshua's going to jump on him. He's going to rough him up. He's going to rip shots into his body, this and that. Do they think that Usyk hasn't seen that style? He has seen every style. That's how I look at it. I think they've got the work cut out. But
they have. But it boils down to Joshua at the end of the day. You know, I've heard him say things like he doesn't watch fights. His opponents at fights, he doesn't watch their fights. If I'm gonna fight you,
he's lying. He's lying to you.
Yeah, you go study. You gotta know who you. But as I said to you earlier, I think everything boils down to where he is mentally. Just got too many people around. Too many people around.
He's got too many Ponces around him. He'll need to go get a job. Ponces, that's what they are. Isn't that right? AKA Skins and all you other dossers. Go and get a job. Come and see your Uncle Porky.
Joshua's a really nice guy, a lovely guy, but he just needs those distractions away and just put his boxing on his forefront, nothing else, 100%. And I'm telling you, you see a different fighter. But with all these mates around, everyone coming around and in the range and music playing, everyone's cool and that animal needs to come out of him. That animal, you know, if he hasn't seen his daughter or son for 6-8 months, you're going to be a crazed man. You're going to be crazy.
Okay, then, John. What do you think to Fury? Do you think he's going to fight in 5-6 months, or do you think that he might just take another break from the sport again and be?
Yeah, Fury take another break, wind people up, torment everybody. Play with everybody, say he's going to fight this person and just do whatever he wants. That's what Fury's going to do.
Well, I've heard he's going to be champion emeritus, and that means that Dylan White's got to fight the next in line for vacant belt, so Dylan don't get his big payday. So who's to say Dylan doesn't say, stuff that, I'll go fight somebody else. He could just go fight Joshua. Joshua could say, stuff Usyk. Oh, it's possible, isn't it? It's the Wild Wild West, isn't it?
Yeah, but what will be interesting is Wilder and Ruiz, because Ruiz is still in the picture as well.
Yeah. What do you think moving on from heavyweight division? What do you think to the situation with Canelo and Eddie Hearn? They don't seem to be as cozy as what they used to be, do they?
Yeah, it's all money again, isn't it?
Do you think Canelo's going to stay with Al Heyman and keep Eddie Hearn?
Oh yeah, Al Heyman is the big shark. Yeah, he controls things. Of course, he's going to stay with Al. Eddie's a nice guy, could get deals done, but Al's on a different planet, different level.
Yeah. Do you feel that moving forward that Frank Warren and Eddie Hearn might have to join forces if DAZN buy BT Sport, or do you think that Frank might issue legal proceedings against BT Sport and Eddie Hearn, aka Eddie Hurls, the 4-0 Iceman, free by way of?
No, I think they might work together. I think they'll be more powerful if they do. They'll be a force to be reckoned with.
Well, it's funny you should say that, because they put what 5 or 6 fights on in 10 years. It's not a lot for fans, is it? And they were going to have a meeting weren't they, beginning of pandemic 20 months ago, and they're still waiting on this meeting, aren't we?
Yeah.
Do you feel that
True.
ego's got in the way and they didn't want to have the meeting?
Oh yeah, with this kind of thing, it's always ego. Ego's going to play a big part. That's the reason why it's not going to go ahead. But if they do, it'll be very powerful.
Exciting times ahead. What do you think of the current state of play at Sky Sports, John?
Sky, I haven't even been following Sky Sports. I know it's just I've watched. Yeah, I haven't been following that much actually.
No.
What
do you think to Hughie Fury's performance against Christian Aimer?
3 weeks, was it 4 weeks ago?
Yeah.
I wasn't impressed.
You weren't impressed by Hughie, no?
No.
Oh, why not?
He could do a lot more better.
Stopped him though, didn't he?
It did, but the template is there. The template is there with Fury, with Hughie. But I don't know, for some reason, I just expected a little bit more from him. Well, what do you think?
Well, he's only 27, and I'm a big Hughie fan, so I'll try not to be biased. I think there's more to come from him. I'm glad he got the stoppage, though, but I think there's more to come from him. And I think he's learnt a lot so far, and I think people need to give him a break. You know, he's not the most engaging person in conversation, but then again, Usyk, Lomachenko, and Savannah Marshall are not very engaging, are they? But they're all world champions, aren't they? So why can't you be? I just think it's well, sorry.
Yeah, there is something there. There's a very good template there. You know, I like the way he boxes. I like his jabs. I'm just a fan of fighters that just use their jab, because the jab is so underrated. So underrated. You know, especially if you've got long arms, long limbs. You know what I mean? If you know how to utilize it, it'll be deadly. And that's the reason why Tyson Fury, he uses it to his advantage.
Yeah.
But yeah, now Hughie, yeah, there's as you said, there's a lot to come, and I do believe that. I just expect a little bit more from him, but there is something there, and you can see he's sharpening that pencil. He's getting a lot more sharper. There is something there.
Yeah. Okie dokie then. Well, listen, thanks for coming on, John. It's been nice to have a catch.
No worries. No worries, man. No worries. No, it's nice catching up with you. Say again?
Have you got a Twitter handle or Facebook or anything?
Just Instagram.
What's your Instagram name?
It's Hampton SMM. That's it. So Hampton. S for sugar. Yeah. M for mother. Yeah. M for mother again.
Yeah.
So Hampton. Yeah.
Hampton SMM.
Yeah.
What's Hampton stand for? Is that your name?
No. It's just the road that I grew up in. So I just
yeah. Well, in London, yeah.
In London, yeah.
On the hard road. Yeah. All right. Well, listen. If you want to follow John on Instagram, it's Hampton SMM. How's that, John? Yeah.
Perfect.
Give him a follow. He's an hardcore boxing fan. All right, John.
Definitely,
listen,
man.
You take care, and we'll have you on again.
No worries, John. Man. Thank you very much.
All the best to you and your family.
And you as well. God bless. Bye-bye.
Well, I enjoyed that. I'm just going to wrap this up now. I just want to say that it's on 1st of September, I put a video out, and I interviewed some young boxers or former boxers, and they told an interesting story about Dave Caldwell. Well, Dave, we've not heard out from you. That was 1st of September. we're a week into November now, so pick up the phone, Dave. Give me a ring. You're welcome on Porky's Corner anytime. Or me and my hardcore chums, we look forward to seeing you on IFL, Boxing Social, Fight Hype, Seconds Out, or Behind the Gloves, or DAZN, or Sky, because you're always on any of them 7 or 8 platforms, aren't you? Match Unboxing, YouTube one. So I've not seen you on them for about 10 weekdays, so getting worried about you, but hope you're well. All right, you take care. Peace out. Keep on trucking. Keep supporting boxing. Don't have nightmares.
Oops. There you go, Mr. Cordwell. Stop rubbing things out.